Good morning, friends. Good to see you. Last week we learned a new solstice song, and we're going to try it on again today for this solstice service. I invite you to rise in body and our spirit. The name of the song is Turn Around. Let's give that first part a try. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, and we repeat that. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around. Then the second part is, let the darkness take us, like the earth we turn. Darkness will not break us, in our hearts we burn. And let's do it in a round. And we might switch it up as we're going around, so don't forget to touch base with me every once in a while, huh? We'll start over here with everyone, this side singing the turn around, and then I'll bring you in on the darkness part, okay? Turn around, ready, and turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, the darkness, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Darkness will not break us, center of the darkness, our hearts turning round. A little louder, here we go. Turn around, the darkness, we are at the center of the darkness and the light to turn. Turn around, darkness will not break us, center of the darkness, our hearts turning round. Now you take the first part. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Now everybody on the turn around. Turn around, we are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around. We are at the center of the darkness and the light. Turn around. Brilliant. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Thank you for joining us today. We are so glad you're here. We do have the fortune of a fairly full sanctuary, and we want to make room for everyone. So if you see people coming in later, please raise your hand if there are seats next to you, or move to the center if you can so that there are accessible seats near the edges. My name is Whitney Godby. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. I'm a middle-aged white woman with long brown and gray hair, and I'm wearing a blue dress with a flower pattern and a black sweater. Leading worship with me today is Troy Fisher, our music director, and Reverend Nancy Reid-McKee, a member of this church who also serves as a justice minister in Washington State. Our community envisions an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. You are welcome here just as you are, whatever beliefs sustain you, whomever you love, however you understand and express your identity, and in all the ways you are growing and becoming. Here are a few things you should know about our service today so you can feel welcome. We are streaming live on Zoom and YouTube, and the service is being recorded. For those here in the sanctuary, you can see subtitles on the screen in front and on Zoom for those online. We are a multi-generational community that welcomes people of all ages here in the sanctuary. There is also nursery care and a storytime program for children in the classroom wing just down the hallway. Over here, we have soft chairs and activities for your hands so everyone can be here in a way that supports them. Please be where you are most comfortable. We are grateful for the many hands that helped make worship happen this morning, visible and less visible. Thank you to all who contribute in so many ways. After the service, everyone will have the chance to discuss reflection questions offered by Reverend Nancy. For those online, we invite you to go into a breakout room for a virtual coffee chat. And for those in person, please feel free to stay for coffee and fellowship out in the commons. Please note that there is no after-service forum today. Happy holidays. The Gen XYZ group will meet today for lunch at 12:15 in classroom 3. Anyone between ages about 18 to 50-ish are welcome to come for food and fellowship. You can connect with Keto Bay for more information. Today, as you might have noticed, is the day for the annual holiday cookie box sale. The Cookie Brigade has been busy making homemade cookies for you to share with friends or enjoy by yourself. The suggested donation is $25 per box, and 100% of sales goes to the OUUC General Fund. They're sold out? Oh, wow, great. Well then, you can join us tonight at 7 p.m. for the second performance of our wonderful choir's concert, Tu Vai Hun, Beatitudes for a Wounded World. You can also join us for a beautiful candlelight service to celebrate Christmas Eve. All are welcome. The 5:30 service features our OUUC choir, and it's available in person and on Zoom. The 9 p.m. service features guest musicians and is in person only. Come gather in the warmth of community and the glow of candlelight as we honor this special evening together. There will be no Thursday dinner on the 25th, and the OUUC office is closed from the 25th to January 3rd. Next Sunday, December 28th, we'll have our annual Fire Communion service, which is in person and outdoors at 10 a.m. Last, the welcome team members were handing out postcards today about cottage meetings that are planned in the new year. Cottage meetings are small, intimate group gatherings in members' homes and online to share stories, build connections, and celebrate our community. For about 90 minutes, we'll enjoy refreshments and meaningful conversations about what OUUC means to each of us and the future we envision for our beloved community. There are many sessions to choose from with different dates, times, and locations. So sign up now. We would love to see you. Each week this year, we are highlighting an opportunity for engagement here at OUUC, and this week's opportunity is the Welcome Team. The Welcome Team is the group that provides hospitality at OUUC, a welcome at the entries, coffee and treats between services, and outreach to visitors and newcomers. If you'd like more information about this team, please visit their table in the Commons after the service or connect with Chloe, our member engagement specialist. There are many things happening at OUUC. You can check out the Tuesday electronic update or the website for the most up-to-date information. And now let us open our hearts and minds as we prepare for worship. It is good to be together. This morning, we join Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition. We kindle a small flame in the dark time of the year, remembering the promise of life abundant, of a possible peace. We pause on this short day and long night of mystery to tell the stories, to sing the songs, and to bring more light into the world.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Nancy Reid-McKee. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an older, white-bodied woman with shortish brown hair. Today I'm wearing this white dress with a very brightly colored stole. Today and tonight is the Winter Solstice, the shortest day and then the longest night of the year. This is a time celebrated around the world as the Earth slowly begins to tilt back so that we gradually gain more light each day. Just as we light our chalice candle and unity with UUs around the world, today we will be lighting many, many candles, a conflagration by the end of the service. And we're going to begin by lighting our Advent candles. The original Advent wreath in the Christian tradition dates back to the 16th century, and it included a candle for each day of the week. We light just each day of the month, for 24 days. But we light just one candle a week. And so far this month, we have lit candles for hope, peace, and joy. As the wheel of the seasons turn and as we're brought closer and closer to the sun, we're reminded of how love is the source of compassion and warmth. Love animates our days, informs our decisions, and quickens our hearts. This fourth Advent candle represents all we hold dear. Our precious memories, our caring of one another, our caring of this beautiful planet that sustains us. Love knows us, holds us, and nurtures us. May love find us this Advent season as we rest here for a moment, take in the stillness, and be present to ourselves and those around us. We light the candle of love. And in keeping with earth-based religions around the world, we'll call in the four directions this morning and light candles in this tradition. Usually this is done in a circle around the room in a way that surrounds the community in a sacred space. But because of safety reasons and the small space, we didn't want people catching our sanctuary on fire. So we'll be lighting a circle. This is a time for us to be present with each other and with ourselves. As we call in each of the directions, you'll see we have north, east, south, and west hidden behind the door back there. I'm going to invite you to join us by standing and turning, facing that direction, if you're able and if you're willing. And if you're online, I invite you to join us by standing to face the directions as well, or at least turn your heart in that direction if you can. We're also going to be, as we call in each of the directions, we're going to end by saying the words, aho. So I want you to practice that with me once together, saying, aho.
Aho.
Okay, you've got it.
Let's rise together in body if you're willing. I invite you to turn to the east with me. I call to the east. Air is the element of the east. This is the breath of life, that which we cannot see, but which fills us with life and infuses us with inspiration. We ask that the spirit of the east be with us now. Aho.
Please face the south with me. I call to the south. South is the place of fire, heat, of heart's blood, that which courses through us, filling us with passion and infusing us with life-giving heat. We ask that the spirit of the south be with us now. Aho.
And now we turn to the west. I call to the west. This is the element of water, shape-shifting, that which constantly moves and transforms, nurturing creativity and gifting us with fresh vision. We ask the spirit of the west be with us now.
Aho. Finally, we face north to our television screen. I call to the north. This is the place of earth, of grounding, and the place of birth. Fierce winter land of ice and cold, endings and beginnings, always calling us home. We ask that the spirit of the North be with us now. Aho.
Now let's sing together this chant to embody the directions. Earth, my body, water, my blood, my breath and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath and fire, my spirit. Thank you. You may be seated.
Our opening words this morning are offered by the Reverend David Breeden. The solstice teaches us that darkness comes, that darkness goes. The solstice teaches us that light comes, that light goes. The solstice teaches us calmly, silently, to be calm, silent, learning. The solstice teaches us as we circle the sun that everything flies. The solstice teaches us to remember the dark, to remember the light, to remember time, the seasons, and love as we circle the sun. Come, let us worship together.
I invite you to rise again and let's sing Peter Mayer's new words, Green. When winter's grays on the sky, rust upon the leaves that lie, red on the last few berries clinging, brown on the branch where the bitter wind's singing, even the white obscures the scene. Still in winter there is green, waving defiant pine tree boughs, cedar needles stubborn and proud, hiding inside the seeds of summer, deep in the roots where it sleeps under cover, patiently waiting there unseen. In the winter there is green. Death may raise its voice today, oh, but life will have a say, speaking in lovers and in children, in poets' pens and philosophers' vision. Life is a plainly daring dream, earth's devotion spoken in green. So keep it in your winter store, hang the garland round the door, grant to your heart its hopeful promise, fashion a wreath for its blessing upon us. Winter brings brown and grays indeed, but when it comes, remember green.
Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practices of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and to something greater than ourselves. This is an opportunity to express our gratitude for the gifts that life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. We know that our financial contributions come from sacrifice and hard work. So with gratitude, we commit together to ensure that the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. If you are new or visiting us, you are our guest, and there's no expectation to contribute. If you are moved to be part of our offering, what you share is accepted with gratitude. The offering collected here does two things. Half helps support the ongoing work of this congregation, which is also supported by our regular pledges. The other half of our offering goes to charity. Most is shared with an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values, and a small portion goes to the OUUC Ministers Benevolence Fund to support the more urgent needs in our community. Our Share the Plate organization for November and December is Rebuilding Together Thurston County, which is an all-volunteer organization that provides free critical home repairs and improves accessibility for low-income homeowners and nonprofit facilities. Their clients are typically seniors, persons with disabilities, military veterans, or families with young children. The work they do, often accomplished by volunteers, preserves existing affordable housing and allows these folks to remain living in their homes with safety and dignity. We offer our thanks now to all who give, including those who give to the offering electronically. You can find out about that in the order of service or on the OUUC website. And now, may this offering sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we give in love and hope. Thank you for your generosity and for all the ways that you share your gifts. This morning, we do what humans have done for all of our existence. We gather in times of worry and anxiety and in times of celebration and joy. We come into our community bringing all that is on our minds and in our hearts. Let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of community. You will hear a drum beat. Allow its resonance into your body. It's the heartbeat of life, the heartbeat of our community. Right now, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the air as it enters your body. Feel the earth beneath us. Feel the warmth of connection. We place a stone in the water this morning for the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, which ends tomorrow evening. In this dark time, may we take in the miracle of the light that burned bright longer than anyone expected. Let's hold on to that light. And now let's open our circle wide. For those on Zoom, I invite you to share from your heart by entering in the chat. Those in the sanctuary can see your sharing on the screen, and it's shared with Reverend Mary and the pastoral care team. And for those in person today, I invite you to come forward if there's something that you would like to bring into this community. You may place a stone in the water as you hold your sharing in your heart. Let's hear the heartbeat of our community and reach out our hearts in love and care to all those who share. We place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And we'll place one more stone in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remains unspoken. We hold together all that has been shared. May you feel yourself witnessed. May you know that you are loved.
Winter solstice is a time for reflecting on the blessings and challenges of the old year, because actually this is the beginning of a new year, right? This is a time to prepare our minds and hearts. It's a time of hope, a time to strive for peace, a time to move from darkness to light. So for our practice today, our deepening practice, we're going to dim the lights and take some quiet time for reflection. And you'll notice that we have candles that we're going to be extinguishing in a ritual. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and out. And be present here in this quiet and in this dark, safe place. Peace in your heart begins with letting go. As your old year departs, so do its sorrows. In your heart, and acknowledge and release these sorrows. Take this time to forgive those who have hurt or disappointed you. May their offenses be gone with the old year. And we ask forgiveness of those we have hurt or disappointed. May we resolve to behave more kindly in the coming year. Let us give thanks in our hearts for the blessings of the old year, especially for the people who have enriched our lives. Let us affirm to be kind, to be caring, to share our love for each other, to continue our efforts toward peace within ourselves and throughout the world. Let's be still in our sacred space and listen to the quiet around us. And let us relight our flames. Even in the quiet, there is the gentle being with others. Let us feel the warmth of our community, knowing we are not alone, for in the quiet shadow is the glow within each of us. Let us know in the darkness the gift each candle bears, a small flame, a diminutive light, yet the wondrous gift to kindle another's glow. Let us be in awe at this moment as we see the light in those around us and the stars above us. You are the light of the world. Together, we create a fire of commitment. Blessed be our home.
I invite you to remain seated and let's sing together to chant for the seasons. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Gray the windy storm, cold upon our cheeks, the wet rain glistens, glistens. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Leaping in the fire, golden in the glass, the cider glows like amber. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us.
Today's first reading is Winter Solstice by Reverend Rebecca Parker. Reverend Dr. Parker is a United Methodist minister in fellowship with the Unitarian Universalist Association, an educator, theologian, and advocate for justice. She was president of the Starr King School for the Ministry when Reverend Nancy and our minister, Reverend Mary, attended there. Parker writes, "Perhaps, for a moment, the typewriters will stop clicking, the wheels stop rolling, the computers desist from computing, and a hush will fall over the city. For an instant in the stillness, the chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard as earth hangs poised in the crystalline darkness, and then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We are not alone. In the universe, there moves a wild one whose gestures alter Earth's axis toward love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of stars, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes of the universe. Let this be the time we wake to life, like spring wakes in the moment of winter solstice."
So this story took place at the Arizona border in 2018. It was the winter holidays, and I didn't have any plans. My children wouldn't be home, and I had my own ambivalences about all the decorations and the holidays. You'll hear more about that later. And then I was told that Casa Alitas needed some volunteers over the holidays so that the staff there could have a break. So Casa Alitas was a house in the Tucson area owned by the Catholic Social Services, and it was used to house immigrants. During that time, that particular iteration in our history, most immigrants were detained at the border and taken to detention centers. If the person could then prove that they had a sponsor in the United States, and that was someone who would agree to house them for 3 months, they would be released from the detention center. So what this would look like is that they would take busloads of people from the detention center and drop them in the streets around the Greyhound bus station. They were left there without food, without money, phones, or any assistance. Dozens of people left there each night to fend for themselves. Organizations like the Catholic Social Services and UU congregations tried to help. Volunteers would hang out, like in the Greyhound bus station, because you know how nice that is a place to hang out. Although we never knew what time to watch for people because they did the releases randomly. Some groups did set up some temporary shelters where there might be clothes and supplies and meals and telephones a place to stay while the immigrants figured out how to travel across the country to their sponsor's home. And Casa Elitas is one of these temporary shelters. But it was pretty well established. It was well known in the community. In fact, the Border Patrol agents would personally drive over the most vulnerable people to Casa Elitas, those that they felt couldn't stay on the streets. So along came the holidays, and Clark and I found ourselves sleeping in a tiny room in Casa Elitas, along with like a dozen other people and a constantly rotating roster as we located sponsors, drove people to the airport or the bus station, and then refilled the bed with other people who were coming in. We tried to do our best. We put up a tree. We put some gifts and toys under the tree for whoever might show up. And for days, the Border Patrol kept showing up at the door with some immigrants, and all of them were pregnant women who were bringing 2 or 3 children with them across the border. It was not lost on us that the story of Mary, the mother of Jesus, was being reenacted each day as we welcomed a woman who was advanced in her pregnancy, who was forced to travel because of a government decree, who had no place to stay, no place in the inn of America. And then into the midst of our pregnant woman and their children came another knock at the door. And we opened it to behold an older Guatemalan woman escorted by 2 uniformed guards. Her name was Maria, and she was dressed in the brightly dyed clothing of her remote northern village where they spoke their own language. She did not speak English, and she spoke very, very limited Spanish. Over the next few days, though, as we got to know Maria, she made it very clear that these northern lands of Tucson were much colder than her jungle where she had come from. And she took to wearing 2 or 3 layers of pants along with several down jackets that she found in our clothing supply. What we learned about her came in bits and pieces from acting out. You know how you are with people. You yell loudly in English as though that can help them understand. And we would act out questions and use our broken Spanish, and she would use her broken Spanish. But some of the other residents in Casa Elitas remembered her from the detention facility where she had been released with them, or incarcerated with them, and where she had been anguished over the separation from her family. We finally managed to contact her sponsor in the United States, who lived in New Jersey. And the sponsor explained that Maria had fled Guatemala for her safety, walking hundreds of miles with her 2 older teenage grandsons. At the Arizona border, though, they were separated, with the grandsons taken to a separate facility, and now Maria was alone, unable to speak the language, no money, and obviously overwhelmed and lost. We could not imagine how she would travel alone across the country, especially when we learned she would have to navigate through 5 bus transfers. Clark and I, along with all the pregnant Marys, spent Christmas morning devising a plan. We made 5 bracelets that we put around Maria's wrist. These were in numerical order. Each one listed the bus number and destination of the following bus she needed to get on. Each one explained to the bus driver how to help Maria to the next bus. All we had to do was get Maria to show each bus driver her bracelets, and we had to hope they would read them, and we hoped that they would help her. I did not feel good about this plan. I had visions of Maria, who was already cold in Tucson, Arizona, getting stuck at her first bus transfer, which was in Sioux City, Iowa, on a day when it was 0 degrees and snowing there. So we packed food and we packed supplies, and I walked toward the Greyhound station with the short, wizened, weary grandmother, my heart aching to think of this journey that she would be taking alone, hoping she could navigate it. I kept thinking of all that could go wrong. We got in line to help her get on the bus, hopefully to help her meet a friendly bus driver. And then chaos broke out in the bus terminal. There was noise behind us. There was yelling. There was commotion. The crowd was agitated and people were moving around. And then out of the crowd, 2 young teenage boys broke through the lines, weeping. The 2 grandsons who happened to be released just moments before Maria needed them the most. A flame of magic lit on earth to light a dark time.
Our second reading is also by Reverend Rebecca Parker, A Winter Blessing. In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing, because the wild places are in tears. Come, she cries to us, kneel down here on the frosty grass, and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers. Distill peace from the snow and water the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year. Trace the bending arc, rounding the curve toward justice, and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, haloed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here. Heaven echoes the call. Repeat the sounding joy. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise.
So Christmas was mostly ruined for me by the Reverend Dick Watts. I'm calling him out. If you ever meet him, let him know. He was the minister of the Presbyterian church I was raised in. It began first when he suggested we take away the consumeristic focus of Christmas, and instead of purchasing gifts for our family and friends from U.S. companies and corporations, we buy them from local craft shows or fair trade stores or fairs. Not a bad idea. That way we would support artisans and crafters more directly. But better yet, he suggested that we could do things like go through a place like Heifer Project International. We could purchase bees and chickens or part of a cow as a gift in someone else's name. So they wouldn't even actually get the gift. That would go to some family in some other country whose livelihood would be changed by having a constant source of honey or milk or eggs. As I entered my teen years, my delight in Christmas gifts was a bit tainted by these feelings of guilt he had instilled in me. It was very hard for me to take a lot of pleasure in getting bath soaps from the Body Shop when I was weighed down with that knowledge that that money could be used instead for families in dire need or who needed medical assistance. So forever after, each gift I received was burdened with the question of whether I really needed it or could the money have been better spent. Thanks, Dick. After establishing his challenge to Christmas consumerism, Reverend Watts took the next step of questioning the validity of Christmas altogether. He taught us that there was no evidence that Jesus was even born in December, and it was thought more likely that he was born in the summer months. So our church started to celebrate Christmas in July. He explained that the December birth date was chosen in the 4th century, and it is thought that it was introduced as a way to co-opt the well-established pagan celebrations of the winter solstice. Now, even the validity of the holiday became a source of conflict for me. So it's no surprise that I moved into adulthood without a clear sense of how to celebrate Christmas. But my UU church ended up offering an alternative for me. Some of you may be familiar with the adult faith curriculum called Cakes for the Queen of Heaven. Yep, a lot of you are nodding. All women, right? Yeah. This came out of the second wave feminist movement, and this curriculum helped women delve back into the times when religion was more woman-oriented and the goddess was prioritized over the male god. And as the Christian religion became predominant and occupied other lands, the goddess religions were denigrated. They were labeled as pagan and suppressed through such things as witch trials. The Cakes for the Queen of Heaven curriculum revisited the goddess faiths and sparked a whole revival of earth-based practices within UU congregations. And so many churches, mine included, began to create celebrations around the seasons of the year, especially around winter solstice. Each year, then, we began a solstice service to honor the longest night of the year and welcome back the slow, gradual increase of daylight. We brought in drums, we called in the 4 directions, we had a circle, we would dance, we decorated the circle, and we brought in practices that reminded us of our connection to the earth, the water, the air, and the fire. I found these earth-oriented practices embodied my sense of sacredness of this season. My spirit felt connected to the rituals of lighting candles in these long, dark times. I found a sense of hope in acknowledging how a small flame can appear so bright when everything else seems so dark. I also admit, though, that celebrating solstice in a typical Sunday worship service is not altogether the way I would like to honor solstice, but I didn't know really how to capture that spirit, what would satisfy me. So it was in 2011, as I was bustling around getting ready for the solstice celebration and holiday season in general, that I probably wasn't paying all the attention that I should have paid when my child, who was 18 at the time, asked if they could have some friends over on December 21st for a music night. Sure, I said, and I left for the solstice service at my church. It was later, as I was driving home, that I began to start thinking about, I wonder what that was about, and I wonder who's going to be there when I get home. I wonder how long they'll stay, and if I need to make any food or talk with them, or if I could just go to bed, because that's what I wanted to do. But as I was driving home, I started to notice that there were more cars parked on the streets. You know where this is going, right? And as I got to my street, there was no parking. I lived on a narrow dirt road, and there were cars parked down each side of it, and there were young people everywhere. They were in the street, and they were in my front yard. And in my downstairs living room, there was a 4-piece band with all these people in it. So many people, I could not get into the house. We lived on sort of a hill, and so I had to go around the house and climb up through the rocks to the back door to my second-floor kitchen. And from there, I looked down the staircase into my downstairs living room that was jam-packed with people. And they were writhing and swaying, and there was this ecstatic mass of people dancing to this loud, raw music of the band. And as I stood there thinking, wow, I wonder how legal all of this is. And wondering what I should do, I eventually just sat on the top stair, voyeuristically watching as that beat of the music infused all those people below me. It was mesmerizing. It was so primal and so natural. And eventually something in me shifted as I realized I was witnessing something magical. This was a true embodiment of the life forces that Solstice offers. What I had tried to emulate at my church was being enacted in my home, separate from my contrived efforts to create a meaningful experience, a flame of magic. I was witnessing the celebration of life itself. Let's take a moment of silent reflection.
I invite you to rise again and let's sing one more solstice chant. It's out of the Teal hymn book, hymn number 1063, Winter Solstice Chant. Children of the earth, we have come to sing to each other, sing with each other, songs of our Mother Earth. Children of the earth, autumn soon will breathe her last breath, and quick with her death bear witness to winter's birth. Children of the earth, can you feel the breath getting cold as darkness takes hold and it covers Mother Earth? Children of the earth, we have come to sit in the darkness, breathe in the silence, think of our Mother Earth.
Now is the moment of magic, when the whole round earth turns again toward the sun.
And here's the blessing. The days will be longer and brighter now, even before the winter settles in to chill us.
Now is the moment of magic, when people beaten down and broken, with nothing left but misery and candles and their own clear voices, kindle tiny lights and whisper secret music.
And here's the blessing. The dark universe is suddenly illuminated by the lights of the menorah, suddenly ablaze with the lights of the Kinara, and the whole world is glad and loud with winter singing.
Now is the moment of magic, when an eastern star beckons the ignorant toward an unknown goal.
And here's the blessing. They find nothing in the end but an ordinary baby, born at midnight, born in poverty, and the baby's cry like bells ringing makes people wonder as they wander through their lives, what human love might really look like, sound like, feel like.
Now is the moment of magic.
And here's the blessing. And here's the blessing. We already possess all the gifts we need. We've already received our presence. Ears to hear music, eyes to behold lights, hands to build true peace on earth, and to hold each other tight in our love. I invite you to face each of the directions as we release the directions. We begin with the north. Spirit of the north, thank you for your presence. We release you now, aho, to the west. Spirit of the west, thank you for your presence. We release you now, aho, to the south. Spirit of the south, thank you for your presence. We release you now, aho, to the east. Spirit of the east, we release you now. Thank you for your presence, aho. We extinguish our chalice, but not the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again. May you go with joy, go with commitment, go with peace and love. Blessed be.